Hello, I thought I'd give another update for Cat Shines Through Cancer. So a recent subject has come up for me where I feel ready to say something about it because I feel like there may be other people that may go through this or have already gone through it, and I just wanted to give my perspective on it, and that's on the subject of support. So in terms of support, this is the one area of my cancer journey where it overwhelms me to tears as different people pop up in my life, people that are very close to me, finding their way to give their support to me, people at work, people in my rug hooking group, people in various different, friends, people who I haven't talked to in a long time showing up. So it's really been overwhelming. And what's also interesting is that I'm starting to see it now as very similar to a color wheel. We got props this week. This color wheel where the support comes in all different shades. And depending on the person, where the person is at the center, and which way they're facing, and the perspective that they're looking through, the colors can look different and have different meaning. So this is what makes it really hard when somebody, I'm keeping it personal here, when somebody is diagnosed with cancer. I mean, what the hell do you say? What do you say? What do you do? It can feel really difficult to know the right thing. When somebody loses someone they love, when somebody's loved one is, really unwell in the hospital for long periods of time, what do you do to support them? And you want to, okay? Every person that has done things for me, whether it's just simply reaching out with a Facebook message or it's a gift of some sort or whatever, every single one of them is loving and absolutely well-meaning. But as the person with cancer, the person facing this, the person receiving, this is where it depends on where I'm at as to how I'm seeing things. So what I want to talk about is there are some parts of support that are in the very light colors that are, just super light-hearted things that they just make me laugh. Or, my friend Kate gave me this great hat and scarf, full of color. I've had lots of people sending me hats or sending me gifts of different sorts. People who have sent me money, donations from my wellness fund. I mean, those are all, they're wonderful and they're very light. It's a very direct kind of energy to it. I've made this and I'm giving this to you. But then there's other parts that actually have shown me a greater gift for myself that I never would have expected. And that's in these darker shades here. Because the darker shades on a color wheel have more depth of color to them. They have more dimensionality to them. There's more that goes into making them. They often require two really, vibrant colors to come together in order to make that color. So these are the ones that have really, I would say, perplexed me in some ways because of my reaction to them. And some examples of it are some people that I call my extra mothers, who are very well intended and they want to mother me, and that's a part of who they are. But I notice that I can't do that. It doesn't work for me. And so that's one example. People who want to share the cancer stories, like lots of detail about the cancer stories of other people that they know, and that too doesn't work for me, and I've had to draw the line and say, no, I honor your friend or sister or whoever, but I can't listen to that because I'm creating my own journey. And then most recently I had a friend who proclaimed that she was, kind of let me know she was going to do a buzz cut of her hair. And I sat with that for a day, and it really took me by surprise when she said it. And I wasn't going to write to her, and then I decided to write an email to her. And this stuff is really hard for me because I'm a people pleaser by nature, and I don't like telling people no. But I felt like I needed to tell her how I was taking that in. And the thing with shaving her hair is I immediately felt that there was a level of self-sacrifice there that I didn't feel was necessary, even though it was totally being done in support of me and in honor of me. But can you see there's a layer that I immediately, and I can't see it any other way, where there's a layer of it that feels like, oh, Kat's alone and she needs a tribe, and so I'm going to do this so she feels like she's not alone. And I don't feel alone. That's the thing. And in any of these examples, the reason that I got triggered on them is because from where I'm standing on the color wheel, I am vibrant, and I am capable, and I am sturdy. And this is a very personal journey. And it's a very personal and unique kind of stance that I don't expect everyone to understand or relate to, but it is mine. And it's exactly the reason when I was giving up alcohol, that AA didn't work for me, because I couldn't keep talking about the stories that had hurt people. So though it's an amazing program, it didn't work for me. I had to do it a different way. And it was by standing in my own light, and that's what I'm doing with this. So any of these examples that are kind of in the more intense part of the color wheel for me have offered me the greatest gift, and I thank those people for this, because what they've allowed me to do is, for probably the first time in my life, is to really draw a line in the sand and say, I can't do that. And that's hard for me. Like I said, I'm a people pleaser from day one. But I'm doing it. And I'm really thanking those people, because every one of them is well-intentioned and loving. But they've at least heard what I've said, and, have respected that. And it's allowed me, these examples have allowed me to get clear on what I need for me. And when somebody says they're doing something in my honor, that I can recognize and say to myself, yeah, that is my business. Because when my friend says, when people ask, why did you shave your head? And she says, in honor of my friend Kat, that has everything to do with me. So it's taking what is yours, and even with well-meaning energy, loving energy. This is an amazing person here that's wanting to do this. Even with loving, supportive energy, there can be depths of it that are a little, they're a little outdated thinking. There's deeper reasons why they're doing it. And this idea of being self-serving in any way, or self-sacrificing is the word I want, is I can't do that. I don't want anybody to do that. And I'm not sitting over here sad in a corner by myself. So, and the other examples, they've just shown me that I can't listen to other cancer stories. That's why I can't do support groups, is because I don't I'm doing this like nobody else, and I would encourage anybody to go that route because you are unique and somebody else's story is not your story. And with cancer, of all things, there is every outcome that you can imagine under the sun, and it has everything to do with how you choose to bring yourself to it. How do you bring yourself to this problem area in your life? Okay? There's so many things so many ways you can go about it, and to give yourself the bandwidth to create your own journey is important. So the other gift out of all of this, with seeing, these people who've kind of triggered me in a little bit of a way, and that allows me to set my boundaries, which I'm deeply grateful for, is that I notice that I've been this person. There have been things in my life that have happened to other people that we care about, and I've been this person. And it makes me realize that even in my well-meaning state, I've done it too, and now I have a whole other stance on it. And my stance on it is, if you want to support somebody who's hurting, who's going through something really hard, just ask and just say, how can I best support you? And be prepared that some people, depending on, again, where they're at on that color wheel, where they're standing in their journey, they might say, I don't know. And there was a time that I could say, I don't know right now, because you haven't even figured out for yourself how you feel about it and how you want to get started. But then, when they do know, listen to them. So I'm going to tell you what I need for support. And I would appreciate if you're watching this and you want to support me, that you see me as strong, capable, and already well. See me in my end state of wellness, because that's how I see me. I don't see me as somebody who needs to grovel through the details of a cancer diagnosis and treatment, who needs to tell you everything about my numbers and blah, blah, blah. I already see me as well. I already see me on the other side of this and living well into my 80s or 90s. I already see this as just a huge gift for me personally, to come to know things about myself that I've never recognized before. So that's what I would ask for support, is to see me as vibrant and effervescent, which I am, and to see me as somebody who is doing cancer like nobody else and is already on the other side of it. I've already healed my body. It's just I'm kind of going through the motions and sharing some things along the way that are to help me going forward, but potentially other people as well. So, and the last thing I want to say is to give kudos to two people who have been my biggest supports of all. They're the two people who are closest to me in my life, and that is my mother, Nancy, and my husband, Chris. Because they, from the beginning, we all had our little turbulent time at the beginning, like, a little bit of anger, definitely sadness. You roll around in the muck at the beginning for sure. And then you get your feet under you. And these are the two people who have seen me from day one as strong, capable, and well. They don't doubt me for a minute. And I just want to give them kudos, because they are the ones that seriously float my boat. I'm doing a great job on my own, but this isn't, you do need some people to help you row the boat now and then. And these two people help me to get centered and stay the path on days if I don't feel sure of something or feeling just even slightly off, because really that's the only thing I feel when I'm having, you know, what you might consider down days. It's like 2 to 3 days of being a little off, like, you know, my taste buds aren't quite right and I've got some aching in my legs. I don't have any nausea. Like, it's silly, you know, it's silly to even talk about because it really feels so insignificant. But even on those days, you know, my mother and my husband are two people that just stay the path, you know, and they just believe me to be so capable. And so just, you've got this. So I'm just honoring them in this video too, that I'm grateful for them. And I just want to end by saying I'm grateful for all the support, and I hope that that's coming through, because I'm not trying to sound like a spoiled brat, like I don't appreciate the support or see the well-meaning and loving nature of everyone who comes my way, and I believe that absolutely. But I wanted to point out the deeper gifts that I received from some of the support that has triggered me, actually, and to say thank you for that as well. Even if it might not have come out sounding, I tried to make it sound loving, and I tried to be gentle about my feedback. But if it didn't come out that way, then I just want to say thank you for that on a deeper level, because it brought me to something important for me to learn, which is boundaries, which we all can benefit from. So that's my update on support. And until next time, stay well.